Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Whatever time of day it is, wherever you are watching this around the world, welcome to Opposition Recon. I am Gatesy, your host, but long-time viewers of this will know exactly who I am, but you're probably not going to know who that guy is, so I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. Please, Douglas, introduce yourself to the millions watching around the world.
Hello. My name is Douglas, and I run the Dugout Football channel. I have been a big Liverpool fan probably since I was born, in all honesty. I have a YouTube channel called the Dugout Football channel. I'm also on Instagram, Douglas Horn. Twitter handle is at Enrod_1992, which should be somewhere around there. And I'm also on Facebook, but I'm not going to glare at Facebook because 99.9% time of this, everyone asks me for my socials. I say Facebook, and not many people do. Not many people actually do have Facebook, as far as I'm concerned. So, but it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for inviting me, Gatesy.
It's my absolute pleasure to have you on, as it has been with everyone that we've had on since we started doing this particular segment. It's really nice to get an opposition point of view on things and just sort of bat things around. And I love it. To be fair, it's been brilliant. We've had some great guests on, and we've had Ray from City Fan TV. We've had Nathan and Ben from the Pride of Villa. We've had a good sort of spectrum of different views, and I love it. It's great. So long may it continue. So obviously we've got you here because of the game that takes place at London Stadium tomorrow, which is obviously against your team, Liverpool. So I usually this format takes basically 4 questions at its core. So the first question being, Douglas, obviously you did your transfer business in the summer, goings, comings, and all the rest of it. And obviously you've played the first 10 games of the Premier League and the European Champions League, etc. What were your thoughts on the transfer business, and what are your thoughts been on the season thus far?
Well, to be honest with you, I think we made the right decision to get Konate. I think a centre-back was needed because of what happened last season. We had 22 centre-back partnerships, which is absolutely bonkers, to say the very least. So I think getting a defender was very, very crucial. It was all about basically, I think, outgoings, and we have got a lot off the wage bill, it has to be said. We are leaving ourselves a little bit short, and I'll say why. Goalkeepers are absolutely fine. Defence were absolutely fine. I think the only positioning is right back, because Trent Alexander-Arnold, you've obviously got Neco Williams, you've got young Connor Bradley coming through. Midfield were absolutely stacked with midfield, so we're pretty fine there. It's just the attack. I mean, if a Salah gets injured, a Mane gets injured, then you've obviously got Jota, Minamino, Origi. I think the thing I will say is, I think the strength and depth on the bench is not as strong as last season, so I think that's a bit of an area to look at. But I was happy with the transfer business. I think we got our business done as quick as we could. Yes, there was obviously talk. I would have probably wanted one more to come in, but I'm not really angry. I'm not really mad. I'm pretty happy with the way that the transfer window's gone for us.
Oh, that's fair enough. But just before we sort of like ask you about your thoughts on the season thus far, you mentioned Divock Origi there. Now that's a player that was linked tentatively with a move to London Stadium. How's he been? I mean, I got to be honest, I haven't sort of like seen how his progress has been this season since the transfer window shut. Has he got much in the way of minutes, and how has he looked to you over? Do you think he could, if he was to come to West Ham, do you think he'd be a good fit for the club?
I think he'd be a great signing for West Ham. I think he suits you down to the ground. I think he would work well as a front two as well. As far as minutes are concerned, he's had bits and bobs on the bench. Started against AC Milan in the Champions League, which was very, very surprising. I don't think anyone expected him to start in that. And you've just recently seen just League Cup appearances, so he's not really had the minutes, but he's scoring for fun in the League Cup. He scored 2 against Norwich, and then he scored what was described as a scorpion kick away at Preston. So he's a very frustrating player, but he'll always be a cult hero because obviously the Barcelona games, everyone remembers him for that.
Yeah,
and obviously the Champions League final, scores the winner, the second goal in that. So he's a very, very frustrating player, but I think he will move on to pastures new either in January or in the summer. And I do think a West Ham, maybe even like a Wolves or somewhere like that. Imagine that if they lost like a Jimenez or obviously Chan, probably go back to Leipzig in the summer, unless they pay for him permanently. And then obviously you got Antonio. It's just I think where you like if Antonio gets injured, I would be a bit worried about your strength and depth. So I think adding another striker would be massive for you.
And obviously, thus far in the Premier League, we're 10 games in as we record this. You're undefeated in the Premier League, 6 wins, 4 draws, 29 goals scored, 8 conceded. You're currently third in the Premier League table. It's still a lot of football to play, and only 3 points off of Chelsea, who sit in first place. What have your thoughts on the opening 10 games in the Premier League, and also your progress in Europe and League Cup?
Well, to be undefeated at this stage in the season is very, very good. I think the draws have been disappointing. I mean, the games that we've won. I mean, Burnley, we needed to win anyway to get the scare of last season out of our belts, because obviously they were one of the 6 that beat us at Anfield in that 6-match run, which is mental. Chelsea was disappointing, but at least we managed to get a point off them, and 4 points off Burnley and Chelsea to begin the season was very, very good. Norwich, everyone probably beats Norwich anyway, so that was a good win. City were a bit fortunate as well. I think the draws that we've got, Brentford was disappointing, but we nearly lost that game, so I think above was a point gained. Brighton actually played really, really well in that second half and could have easily won that, so again another point gained. But it's coming a bit of a habit of us drawing these silly games. I thought we were sort of away from that, but obviously, to beat Manchester United 5-0 away from home is any Liverpool fan's dream of going there and absolutely spanking them, which was what happened. So I've been very, very impressed with us in the league. It's just the draws, I think, are a little bit disappointing. Yeah. Champions League could not have gone as perfect as it can. 4 wins from 4. Through to the next round. We've won the group as well, so obviously we'll be seeded into the round of 16, but we all know that doesn't really count for anything. League Cup, Klopp doesn't like League Cups, but obviously from what congratulations on beating Manchester City, by the way. I was very, very happy about that. So we've got Leicester next round. That'll be a good game. That'll be a very, very good game, that one. But the season has gone very, very well so far. It's just a real pity that the injuries seems to be piling up again. But everyone gets injuries, and that was a big excuse from a lot of Liverpool fans last season, not me. So you definitely have to say that injuries are a part and parcel of football. But the injuries
That's why you got big squads.
Yeah, the injuries are definitely stacking up, but I've been very, very happy with the way we've played so far this season.
So about an 8 out of 10, you'd say? I would say about an 8 out of 10. Yeah, decent. So moving on, second question. Regarding the game tomorrow that takes place at London Stadium, who are the players that you, as a Liverpool fan, you've got to keep quiet to maximise your chances of getting the result tomorrow?
I think the obvious answer would be probably Antonio.
Yep.
I have to say also that I've been very impressed with Ben Rama. I think Ben Rama is a silky little player. Jared Bowen as well. That's another one.
He's been linked with you guys, isn't he?
He has, and a lot of Liverpool fans are actually saying this would be quite a sensible move. I quite agree with them. I think it would be a very good move, and obviously we get the homegrown talent up as well.
Yeah.
I must say though, Declan Rice against Fabinho is going to be very interesting tomorrow. And I've been very impressed. Who's the right back that you've got at the moment? Is it Ben Johnson?
Yes.
I've been very, very impressed with him. Obviously in Europa League, and obviously scored last week against Aston Villa as well.
He did, yeah.
So those are the five, I would say.
Yeah, no, Ben Johnson's come in. He's really grabbed his opportunity. I mean, Vladimir Tufal came in last season from Slavia Prague, £5.4 million signing, Champions League experience. Came in and was, I believe he was Hammer of the Year last season, but he never actually won the official award. That went to Tomas Souček, his Czech counterpart. But this season, Vladimir picked up an injury. Young Ben Johnson's come in. He's grabbed his opportunity with both hands, and for me, he's the one in the box seat as far as the right back slot's concerned. Declan Rice, yeah, I mean he's our heartbeat. Antonio's the apex. He's our striker, but Benny, as you said, Saeed Benrahma, really, really intelligent, skillful player. Last season, obviously, took him a little bit of a time to acclimatise to, because obviously he's moving up from the Championship to the Premier League. It's a bit of a jump, and some players maybe need to take a bit of time. But this season, he really has sort of hit the ground running. He had a little bit of a dip in form prior to the Europa League game on Thursday, where he got the 2 goals. Obviously, maybe the previous 2-3 games he didn't quite hit the heights he'd hit in the previous sort of 6 or 7 games. But now, sort of like, hopefully that game on Thursday, he's now got the bit between his teeth, and fingers crossed, we'll see the sort of like Saeed Benrahma hit the ground running against you guys. Turning that question on its head, who are the players, and there's a lot of them that you could pick in fairness, who are the players that you believe that you're going to have to maximise your chances, that Liverpool are going to have to sort of, have in form?
Oh, I think the obvious was Mo Salah. I mean, I think,
is he the best player in European, if not world football right now on current form?
I think on current form, you have to say so. I think the only one that really comes towards him is Robert Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, who is banging them in for fun. Let's be honest. He is a very, very good striker. Always has been, really, as Lewandowski. So I would say Mo Salah for sure. I was actually reading something. I think Mo Salah's got more goals against West Ham than he has against any other Premier League club. Yeah. So obviously, I don't want to make your mood go from happy to sour, but I just he loves scoring against West Ham. There's
a lot of players that do. Harry Kane, Romelu Lukaku. There's a list.
So I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's another one. I think people say he's not the best defensively, but you look at his assists, he's made 50 assists in 190 Liverpool games, which is crazy, incredible right back, isn't it? For a right back. Yeah, it's mental. I don't know if we'll play Andy Robertson, because I think it's looking like Tsimikas might be staying in there.
Okay.
Virgil van Dijk as well. I would say, Virgil van Dijk from corners is maybe not this season, but in the past he's been quite a danger as well. Obviously, I have said Fabinho against Declan Rice is going to be a very interesting battle as well. I am going to put out Thiago. I think you look at last season, and I think Thiago did actually play in the game, and obviously the 3-1 game I'm talking about. There was one ball, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold played to Thiago. I think he put it straight to Shaqiri. Shaqiri plays it to Salah, and that was one of the goals. So I think if Thiago plays, then I'd be more confident, because I know Oxlade-Chamberlain's got a good record against West Ham as well, but the thing is with our midfield is that when you've got Fabinho, when you've got Henderson, and when you've got Thiago, that's quite a solid midfield. But if you've got Fabinho, Jones, and Ox, it's an attacking midfield. So I think we need a stable midfield, because I think the midfield battle is going to be so key tomorrow. Because you've obviously got Rice, you've got Souček. Those two are fantastic players as well. So it's going to be a very interesting game. I think that midfield battle, as I've said, is going to be very, very key for sure.
You mentioned Andy Robertson a little bit earlier. And you said that you believe it will be Tsimikas that will keep the left back spot. Is Robertson injured? What was the story with him?
Tsimikas has actually came in and actually played out of his skin. And Jurgen Klopp actually said in the press conference yesterday, I think it was, that he still thinks Andy Robertson is the best in world, best left back in world football, but Kostas has deserved his chance. And actually, Kostas Tsimikas has actually had a better season than Andy Robertson so far.
Okay.
So he played well against Atletico the other night. I think he will keep his place.
Interesting. I've not seen too much of Tsimikas. I have to be completely honest with you. You say you believe he's had a better season than Robertson. I mean, that's high praise. I mean, for a guy that, as you just said, that Klopp rates as the best left back in the world. That's quite a statement.
He's taken his chance with aplomb. Last season he couldn't get going. I think he had COVID. I think he had injuries as well. We've only seen him sort of in the League Cup last season, but this season he's just taken his season on another level, and I think he's been very, very good. Had a couple of assists as well, so he's. I would say he's probably better defensively than Robbo is.
Okay,
as well.
Do you think maybe it's the offensive part of his game that is the reason that maybe Robertson might get the nod?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, but you believe that it will be Tsimikas that will be in the 11 tomorrow? Well, we'll see. I mean, it's I'd be interested to see him, because, as I say, I've not seen this guy play sort of up close and personal in any great detail. So, yeah, I'd be quite interested to see what he can offer. Last question, Douglas, before we wrap it up. Obviously, beyond tomorrow's match, what do you, as a Liverpool fan, believe to be an acceptable pass score as far as your season's concerned? What's your minimum expectations? Well,
I would want to be perfectly honest and say the league, but I'm not going to say that. I think if we can at least get second place, then build on, and then probably go out and build on from last season. Because the run we had last season was just incredible. I think it was 10 games unbeaten at the end of the last season. So I'm going to say that. Champions League, I think we are equipped very, very well to win the Champions League. Depends on the draws, of course, but I do think that we can do it. League Cup, who knows? I think a top four finish, maybe even second, because I don't think we're going to win. I think Chelsea and City are too strong. Hopefully a Champions League win, that would be nice. And maybe a League Cup or maybe an FA Cup. I would say that.
I'm going to put you on the spot. This one's a completely off the cuff question. And I know they're not mutually exclusive. It's just me being a bit mischievous, but forgive me. Premier League or Champions League, one or the other, which one would you choose?
As always, the Premier League. Always the Premier League. Look, it would be nice. It would be nice to be on 20 league titles, the same as Manchester United. But number 7 sounds good as well. But yeah, for me, it's the Premier League.
Premier League wins it over the Champions League. Well, Douglas, I'd love to wish you good luck tomorrow. But first of all, you're not going to need it. Second of all, I wouldn't mean it, so there's no point. But I wish you. I hope you guys have a good game, and we witness a footballing spectacle tomorrow. May the best team win, and beyond that point, I wish you guys the best of luck for the rest of the season. And don't forget, those of you that are watching, get over to the Dugout Football channel on YouTube. You've got the channel link there. This will be in the description below YouTube and Facebook. So all you got to do is copy and paste. And please also give him a follow on his Twitter and Instagram handles that you can see on the screen there in front of you. Douglas, I'd like to thank you very much indeed for your time.
Great pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. And yes, obviously, after this game, I wish West Ham the best of luck for the rest of the season as well.
No problem. Well, I'm going to finish with my usual sign out, Douglas. So you'll have to forgive me. Come on, you Irons.